Should the police resign? Should the federal government have been subsidizing petrol without knowing how much petrol we consume? Should presidents receive national honors before assuming office or after? Those are your big three, Lagos. Let's talk. The police have arrested a police officer for wanting to leave the police. That's our first story. It first broke on Twitter, which is where all the wild stories usually first break. Sandra Ezekwesili is a corporal in the police force. She says she's been trying to leave and they won't let her. And so she tweeted a thread claiming that she had been arrested for trying to resign. She said, quote, "I never saw this coming. I've never thought I will be put in detention without interrogation. All I did was try to resign. I've been trying to resign from the police since last year, but my letters were not approved. My boss had called me to show up yesterday, 24th of May, to meet the deputy commissioner for an interview. I thought they were finally going to approve my resignation, but the only words I heard was that I should be detained, to be tried and dismissed. Due to the shock, I couldn't say anything as the officer led me away. Later, I heard that I should have begged and cried, but my lack of reaction wasn't the matter. I cried a river after it all dawned on me. I've not taken my clothes and my shoes off since yesterday. I cannot even change my sanitary pad. My migraine is throbbing at full speed and my head is about to explode from exhaustion. My mother has called that she has been advised to come and plead that I will continue working. I've been working for 6 years and I think it is fair to let someone go and aid them to leave if they don't want to stay anymore." End quote. Now, when the thread went viral, many people didn't believe it. How can this be true? This must be somebody chasing clout or something. Well, the police have confirmed it. We heard from Benjamin Hundeyin, force spokesperson. He sowed his own Twitter thread too, and he said, quote, "Setting the records straight. It is one thing to turn in your resignation. It is another thing for the application to be processed, upon which you receive your discharge certificate. Till you get the discharge certificate, you remain a serving member of the force, bound by all extant rules and regulation of service. Absence from duty for 21 days without leave or permission automatically results in your being declared a deserter. Every serving member knows this. Corporal Sandra Ezekwesili, who serves in the office of the Imam of the command without leave, permission or discharge from service, absconded from duty for over a month in flagrant disregard for the conditions of service she willingly signed to. For this offense against discipline, she was detained yesterday for the commencement of her orderly room trial today. Secondly, she has maliciously brought the name of the force into disrepute by distorting, misrepresenting facts, a discreditable conduct that amounts to another disciplinary offense. Nevertheless, she would have an opportunity to explain herself at the trial, after which a decision will be made." End quote. So first of all, I want to know what you think about the point that the police is making. The police is saying it's fine to resign, but pending their approval, you're still on the force. So you cannot just leave your post without a punishment. Secondly, I want to know what you think about the corporal's point that it should not take the police so long to approve a resignation. According to her, she's been trying to resign for a very long time. She says she's been trying to resign since last year. Do you really want people serving in the force who do not want to be serving in the force? So that's my second question. My third question, should the police have military-style rules? We often talk about how we should not call it a police force. It should be a police service. Should the rules around joining and leaving reflect that? Because I hear deserter and I'm like, deserter for police work. What do you think about this bizarre story? Lagos, talk to me. 0700 993 01465 If you are in the police force or police service and you want to talk to me anonymously, I'd appreciate that. 01465 That's for women. Men, call me on 0700 We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. 080-959-75805. And of course, there's Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Hi, how are you? What's your name?
Hello, Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Sean. I'm calling from Eba.
Welcome. Talk to me.
Sandra, maybe the person have not reached the age of retirement. And another thing, depends on the assignment.
This person is not trying to retire. This person is trying to resign. You know, when you have a job, you can resign from the job.
No, Sandra, you know that when they are in a juicy positioning, they will be there enjoying. So when they send them like Sadista Forest to go and help the army and fight insurgents.
But this person was not sent to go and fight the army. This person is working in the office of the imam. This person is working in the religious department.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
I want to talk about the House of Assembly concerning the fuel subsidy.
Talk to me. Go ahead.
Why is it now that they are winding up, they are telling us that they don't know the number of, the liters of fuel we are consuming on daily basis. We are paying for 60 million liters daily. So that is what they assume that we are using. But if you check it, it is an error. Because if you check the vehicles, how Nigerians are using fuel in this country, it is not up to 16 million. I don't think it is up to 50% of that number. And we are paying the subsidy, huge amount of money, about 6 billion on daily basis, or 15 billion every day on fuel subsidy. Check how many years we have suffered. If House of Assembly are taking this upon themselves, they would have solved this problem. They would have solved it. Because if you check now, all the vehicles that we are using, they buy fuel from filling stations. The people who are pouring their gen, they buy from filling stations. And the NNPC regulate filling stations. They know the number of fuel we are using, the amount of liters we are using on daily basis. And House of Assembly, they didn't want, maybe the thing is benefiting them. It is now they are winding up. The best for them to wind up now, they are telling us that they don't know the numbers. It doesn't profit us now.
Okay.
And they know that in June now, subsidy is out. So thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you very much for calling. Anne is in Coca. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Talk to me.
Yeah, the police woman, of all people, she should have known the protocol of resigning.
Okay.
Yeah. So I agree with the Ehunde.
Okay.
She should have known the protocols. I'm not coming to Facebook to make noise. Then she said she has not changed her cloth for how many days and her sanitary pads. So she sees what we, the ordinary citizens, go through. I remember I spent 3 days in police detention before.
Okay.
The female police, they are most wicked people on earth. They don't care whether you're in your period. They don't care. They don't give you pads. If you want to buy, they will go and buy you tissue. Even if you give them money for pads, they will buy you tissue and use the other money. So let her express what they have been torturing the female folks in detention. She wants pity from us. She will not get it. She's not different from others. And there are still female police who are very wicked and torturing their fellow women in police detentions today. I don't feel sorry for her. She should have known the protocols and should have waited for her resignation approval. But she's in a hurry.
Okay. All right, Anne. Anne says, I don't feel sorry for her. Dan Baba is in Lekki. Talk to me, Dan Baba.
Madam Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. I've been following the story on Twitter. I read what the lady said. To me, it's horrible. The part when she says she's doing this and she's not allowed to change and all these things. I want to advise the police, especially the police spokesperson in Lagos, to stop being emotional. Because this type of things will discourage people, on joining the police force. Personally, even if my enemy wants to join the Nigerian police, from all this experience and the military, I always advise them not to join. Because I've had somebody, a female like her, who served in Nashman, in Makurdi. She told me all her experience, how their guy used to harass them, disturb them for dating and all these things. And I told her to resign. She said she thinks of resigning from the force, but the process is not easy. Especially when they suspect that you want to, resign because of all this nonsense that they are doing to you, they will delay it.
Right.
So I want the police and journalists to investigate why this lady in question wants to resign from the force. Because there is no doubt that these people, especially mess around this lady. You can investigate, you know the truth. We have relatives who are in the force. We know what they go through, especially the women. It's not easy for them at all. And for them to say that, this and that, the person no one work again, she not by force. I don't get right to resign from work again. I think Ben should mind how, respond to Nigerians on Twitter. Because people are not happy with the force. Now by force, say, if Nami be that yourself, I go wrong. You just want to follow the due process. If I don't want to do police, now by force.
Dan Baba, thanks for calling. Daniel is in Ogun State. Daniel, talk to me.
Hello?
How you doing, Daniel? Talk to me. Daniel, are you there? Can you hear me? Hi, Daniel. Oh, that's unfortunate. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Florence. I'm calling you from the office.
Welcome. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this lady. It felt a bit sentimental when I heard her case about trying to leave the police force and being denied that opportunity.
Yeah.
There's so much more to this story that we do not know. And I want Nigerians to see it from the perspective of someone trying to exit something that she finds not justifiable for her to remain. So I think the problem here should be more looked into. This is more like a human rights challenge, because we have the right to work, right to live, right to exist, right to anything we want to do. I think if she signs for it's a service. It's not a military service, it's a voluntary service. I think that she has the right to live. And so if she's applied to live since last year and she's not been granted, then there's a problem. People should look more at the process and not be sentimental at human errors. There's so many reasons why we are where we are in Nigeria, because the process doesn't work. There should be a process for termination, the process for resignation. And this is more like intimidation. A woman in the workplace, I am calling you from the office, there's so many things that go on.
Yeah.
There's so many harassment cases, so many intimidations, there's so many things. So there's much more to why she's being denied resignation. This is not termination, this is resignation. I call on the women to look into this matter. It's not something to just call on radio and to laugh about it or put the cost of every other policeman on her. She's trying to do the right thing. She doesn't feel she wants to be there. She has that reason she wants to leave. There should be a process, a clear and genuine process for resignation. The police is so corrupt. I think they should redeem the image rather than make a mockery of her. She wants to leave. She should be allowed to leave. There's much more in the police force going on that she knows and they know she knows. That's why they don't want her to leave. Why won't you allow someone to leave on her own free will? This is really bad for this nation. Everything isn't working. Ordinary to resign. If she dies there, what happens to her? Nothing.
Florence, thank you so much for calling. Florence says we should take this as a current affairs issue, as a human rights issue, and not as something to laugh about. So this is not about the police officer herself, it's about processes. Processes are the big problem as far as Nigeria is concerned. What do you think about that? Again, apologies about the quality of the sound from Nigeria Info for the past few days. We are using a makeshift studio while we renovate our main studio because we want to make it even more beautiful so that we can deliver like impeccable journalism content from our brand new studio. So please bear with us for the next couple of weeks. Very soon we're going to go back into the main studio and you'll begin to enjoy the quality sound you've always enjoyed. Chinwe is in Lukbeju. Hi, Chinwe.
Yeah, good afternoon, Madam Sandra.
Good afternoon, Chinwe. Talk to me.
Yeah, Chinwe calling from it. With regard to the topic at hand, the policewoman, she said she has served for 6 years.
Yes.
It's not up to 16 years yet.
6 years, yes.
That means there must be something that prompted her resignation. She can't just wake up and say she wants to resign. So we shouldn't judge her based on what's happening now. Secondly, the the police itself, some of my friends are there, they won't tell you what they are passing through. They are just like obeying the last command in that place. What the guys tell them to do is what they do. So some of them don't really like what is going on there, but they just have to obey the last command. So if she said she wants to resign, they have their own law that she should also abide, which I'm very sure she's aware of the law, and she can't just go against it like that. And also, let's look at it from the other angle, that if maybe there's something she's trying to protest there, the Nigerian police, there are so many lives there that we civilians might not really understand. My uncle sat there, he retired there. Some of them that came out, they will celebrate, they will tell you, thank God I made it. So we don't really know what's going on there. So what we should be doing there, let's just be praying for them and also encourage them to do well.
Okay, all right, Chinwe, thank you very much for calling. Chinwe says we don't know why she wants to resign, but that's the thing. A person doesn't need to have a serious reason for wanting to resign. Simply not wanting to work somewhere is enough to up and resign, However, we have Ben Hundeing saying that this woman went on leave without what's the word I'm looking for now? Without approval for weeks. Let me even read what he said verbatim. He said, setting the record straight, it is one thing to turn in your resignation. It is another thing for the application to be processed, upon which you receive your discharge certificate. Till you get the discharge certificate, you remain a serving member of the force. Orderly trial is immediate. She has already been found guilty. Why should it take so long to process her resignation letter? The force cannot compel her to work against her wish when the country isn't at war. She is not a conscript. Okay. All right. And of course, he says that he's trying to reach her so that he can offer her legal representation. So that's what's happening with that story. If you just tuned in, hi, how are you? Good afternoon. I brought you our first story today. The police have arrested a police officer for wanting to resign from the police. Now, I'll give you a chance to share your thoughts on that story when we come back from this break. Also, when we come back from the break, should the federal government have been subsidizing petrol without knowing how much petrol we consume? Because in our second story, I will take you to the House of Reps, where they say that the government and NNPC have no idea how much fuel Nigerians consume daily. Let's talk about that after the break.
Listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
NS Oga, wetin happen? I don send a go market. I be dey owe you money.
Oga pharmacy, no be your boy I dey call jare. I dey ask for NS liver salt, medicine wey dey comot any yamayama discomfort for person belle, whether na heartburn, constipation or even indigestion o. NS liver salt get lemon, orange and other correct flavors. With NS liver salt, belle go dey balance. Oya Oga pharmacy, sama me one make I go enjoy.
NS liver salt, the medicine where they make your belle kulele. Rush and Tiny Pharmacy, go buy your own now.
Now, product of Neskem Pharmaceutical Limited.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to be a radio presenter, but I don't know how to go about it.
But why is Timmy so quiet today?
Sorry, ladies. I'm taking this interesting course on how to become a professional scriptwriter. You too can also learn how to become a radio presenter on Wazobia Academy.
Wazobia Academy?
Yes! Wazobia Academy provides accessible and affordable online training in filmmaking, music business, fashion, radio hosting, and lots more. You also stand a chance to be selected for internship in leading production companies, radio stations, music, and fashion studios for hands-on experience. It's easy. Simply log on to www.wazobiaacademy.com or call 0908-826-5038 for more details.
Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the
The biggest football fan festival is back. It's Goalfest, the Festival of Champions. Featuring exciting games, food, comedy, live music by some of the very best Nigerian music superstars. And you can watch the UEFA Champions League final on a huge screen. Goalfest 2023 will take place on the 10th of June at the Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Amadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time 2 p.m. Get your tickets now available at www.goalfestnigeria.com. Goalfest 2023 is powered by Femi and the Gang and Football Republic. Proudly refreshed by Pepsi.
Sponsored by BetWinner.
All round the clock, all year round. Never a time the journey would have been easy without you. You made your number one talk station, Nigeria Info, part of your everyday life.
Nigeria Info, call us. You people, I like the energy. This is what I want to hear every time.
And now, because of your active listening and contribution, we are crowned the radio station of the year. We are incredibly humbled and honored to be standing on the solid ground of Batman. This recognition means so much, and we are deeply grateful for it. Thank you for making this possible. Thank you for choosing Nigeria Info. Thank you for answering our call. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and for our second story, the House of Reps says Nigeria suits daily. That's the thing to find out the to extend the super grant. And at the time, how we know House of your saying that's number of returns that should have said. Committee head by after or we don't know. Abdullahi said, quote, the determination of the committee that consistently arrived at the date of PMs. In fact, commission daily dispense of very childless things stations not having, end quote. This is shocking. Not shocking. Basically, the committee discovered that nobody has put in place a process or system for checking each filling station every day to find out how much fuel they sold. Ideally, there should be some tech in place to read and transmit the figures from each pump or each station, but we don't have that. And the stations are not even reporting it manually. And I have a lot of questions. First of all, how did we even get here? How was it possible that the federal government was spending trillions on fuel subsidy, and nobody in government said, "Look, we need a system to confirm that we're not overspending. We need to be able to track the fuel that actually enters our local market." Why didn't that happen? Was that just lack of accountability, or was it just done on purpose so that corruption fit stay enabled? Because if we don't know how many liters we're actually subsidizing, somebody can inflate subsidy figure. Somebody can inflate subsidy figures. Secondly, whose head should roll? Who should be held accountable for this lapse? The NNPC, the executive, the Minister of Petroleum, the National Assembly for not taking these steps earlier? Because it's like my first caller said, why are we having this conversation now when the 9th Assembly is about to be out of office? However, government is a continuance, right? And thankfully, the president-elect says he's going to continue from where President Buhari stopped, right? So perhaps raising these issues now is not too late in the game. It's going to help determine whether or not subsidy stays on after June, or whether or not if it does stay on, we're ensuring that we're only subsidizing what is consumed within Nigeria. And my third question, of course, is what should happen next? Now that the National Assembly has officially said that the fuel figure is not being tracked, what should they do? Should they still approve this latest subsidy payment? How should the country go about tracking this consumption data going forward? I even have to ask, I'm sure that there are a number of you who are listening. I mean, I've got over 1 million listeners, right? I'm sure that there are a number of you who are listening who either work in a petrol station, own a petrol station, or, know how petrol stations work. Is it true that it's not possible to know how many liters of fuel a petrol station sells? There's no way to measure how many liters of fuel they sell per day. 700-993-993-93 01465-7190. And yes, you can still talk about our first story with the policewoman who is now in detention because she tried to resign from the police. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. Hi, good afternoon. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I'm talking to you. How are you doing? What's your name, sir?
Oh, yeah, good day. Congratulations for your award on the best radio station to start with.
Thank you.
I've been trying to get on to you. My name is Chimobi from Lagos.
Chimobi, welcome.
The problem we are having here is because of lack of accountability. The government and the rest feel that they are untouchable and they can do whatever they like, because other countries get these things steady and, post them to the people they are governing and the rest. The corruption is much at the top and, they don't want anything to be clear. It's possible to read the meters and give exactly what the figures are, because you can't do any projection without knowing how much or the cost is going to take. So it's pure fraud, and we've seen it from all perspectives in government and the rest, and they're not actually showing good example to the citizens from what they are doing. But I believe that all this will change one day by His grace, because the cheating is out of it.
Chimobi, thank you for calling. Shade is in Ikeja. Hi, Shade.
Hi, Sandra. How you doing?
I'm very well. Welcome.
So I like when you ask questions. So it's yes, no, yes. Yes, it is both deliberate, and it's also because of our lackadaisical attitude to how we just do things in government. It just appears like they know what they're doing. It's definitely deliberate. And it's funny because this what's the English phrase? These people ran on, they were the ones that protested. They didn't want fuel increase. They didn't want subsidy removed and stuff. And you would have thought that would be the first thing they would do when they come in to check the system. Like, that's the first thing you do. You come in. If they had the intention to do what was right. Which is why I said it's all deliberate. No one had intention in this past government.
Right.
The immediate past one and all the other ones. At least the other ones, they didn't pretend, but these ones pretended like they cared, like they were going to do something. That's the part that just is very irksome. But, yes, it can be tracked. The petrol stations know how much they sell every day. That's how you start. They check their meters every other hour or whatever. When you buy food, you see them sometimes checking the meters and stuff. So they know what they started with. They know what they end with. It's something that if we want to do, we can track it. But the question is, do we want to do it?
Do we want to track it?
Going to want to do what's right. Do you want to track it? I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. But it's just, how do we say it's our Nigerian ways?
Shade, thanks for calling. Mama Felicia is on the line. Hi, Mama Felicia.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well. Good afternoon.
Yes. Sandra, I don't know what to say, because it's a laughable something and a shameful something to hear it from those that are governing us, that our leaders, that they don't know how much. How do they determine how much they pay in a day? How do they come to that? Somebody is responsible for that, and somebody should be made to be accountable for that. Why are they behaving like this? Why are they treating us like this? It's so bad. And our president, Buhari, is the Minister of Petroleum. It should be brought to book to be account an NNPC man. We have people to question. We have to question them. Nigerians, our mumu is too much. We say enough for us to rise up and say enough is all this. And for the police, a lot of things are happening in the uniformed officers' places that is not right at all. That our Oga has it all. Somebody has every right to say, I don't want to work any longer. Has she not given them 3 months in lieu of notice that she should not be allowed to go on her free will to say, I don't want to work again? It's appalling. I don't know. I think this is enough time now to expose what is happening in the police force and other places. Thank you, Sandra, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Mama Felicia, for calling. All right, let me bring you our final story so that we can have time to get into all of them. For our third story, we are simply looking at all things May 29th and the handover. Yesterday, Muhammadu Buhari chaired the final FEC meeting of his presidency. He thanked his cabinet for their service and said that his administration has done its best. Do you agree? How would you score that best? All over the country, governors are also handing over to their successors, but in some states, there's tension. So we have reports from Abia and from Benue that the governors-elect are accusing the outgoing governors and their commissioners of not leaving proper handover notes, not cooperating with the process. And I have a question about that. Should there be more laws around the proper nature of conducting a handover? If my guest on Eyes and Knees were here, he would say, Sandra, we can't legislate everything. And then I would say, but I mean, in a country where they hear word, we get coconut head. Isn't it safer to legislate everything? But yeah, should there be more laws around the proper nature of conducting a handover? And what should those laws be? Because this is not the first time that we've heard about this problem. Remember, it was rampant in 2015. 2015, I was in university, and the governor-elect we complained that Governor Amici at that time did not leave any handover notes, did not take part in a transition. In fact, Amici didn't even show up for the handover ceremony. So should there be more laws? Speaking of ceremonies, President Buhari has conferred national honors on Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima ahead of their swearing in as president and vice president. Tinubu is now a GCFR, a Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. That's the highest honor in our system. Shettima is now GCON, Grand Commander of the Niger. Now, this is, of course, routine. It happens for every incoming president and vice. But should it happen for every incoming president and vice? Should we confer the highest national honors on a person before they take on the highest job in the land? Or should we wait? Let the future administrations judge their performance. Confer it on them. Also, should we have more non-heads of states getting the GCFR? Have our head of states performed so well that they should dominate the list of people who have gotten the highest honor? Because the only Nigerian who has gotten the GCFR without being president or being declared a winner of a presidential election is Obafemi Awolowo. Every other winner is a president-elect like Tinubu and Abiola, or a head of state like IBB, Abdusalam, Shonekon, Azikiwe, even a foreigner like Mandela, Gaddafi, Queen Elizabeth. Is that proper? Or should we see more Nigerians outside of politics getting the highest honor? I know they give people, other people like GCON and OFR and MON, but why should GCFR be beyond your reach if you've done something amazing for Nigeria just because you never ruled Nigeria? So take, for instance, someone like Stella Adadevo now. Meanwhile, we have reports from different sectors. So the DSS is saying that they are getting reports that there could be disruptions in different states during the handover ceremony. We heard from the DSS saying that they are keeping their eye on different states. That some people are planning to disrupt inauguration. So they are warning people to be careful. They're saying that these elements plan to undermine the efforts of security agencies and cause panic among citizens. We heard from Peter Afunaya with that particular comment. And then we also have all the dignitaries who are trooping into Nigeria. So you have, for instance, Biden's delegation coming in for the inauguration. So U.S. Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge, says that she's honored to lead the U.S. delegation to the inauguration ceremony of Bola Tinubu. And then, of course, you have a number of other members from the delegation. So you have David Green, who is the Consular General in Abuja. You have Democrat States Rep member, Sydney Dove, also coming. A bunch of people, just coming in. You also have the Director for the U.S. Trade and Development Agency coming along. She's Nigerian, at least Nigerian-American. She has Nigerian origins. Her name is Eno Ebong. She's coming alongside as well. So lots of support for the president-elect. You even have support from Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo, with his group of people, say that they are on ground pre-inauguration. In fact, I saw that tweet from Festus Keyamo. So Asari Dokubo and a bunch of Niger Delta militants on ground to support Tinubu and support him at the Court of Appeal, actually, not for the inauguration now. They were at the Court of Appeal to offer support, as the nation prepares for the inauguration of the president-elect on Monday. So a lot happening in Abuja, a lot happening all over the country. Let's talk about it. How are you feeling about the inauguration coming on Monday? 0700-993-993-993, 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp too. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 99.3. Hello?
Hello.
How you doing, sir? What's your name?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Godwin from Amu.
Godwin, talk to me.
Yeah, for the girl, the police lady want to resign. She has the right to resign. All she needs to do is to give 1 month notice and be paid off on the final day. Or she gives 1 month salary back with all her kids to the police and be allowed to go immediately. However, she should have taken a legal means of pursuing the case instead of going to defend the police. That's one. For petroleum, presidency cannot say they don't know because they have mandated DPR to monitor PMS or product that is going out of depots on daily basis. With that, they are supposed to know. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. But monitoring how much fuel goes out of the depot on a daily basis does not translate to knowing how much of that fuel that leaves the depot is actually consumed within Nigeria. Christopher is on the line. Hi, Christopher.
Yeah, President Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me.
Thank you, sir. These effects not bother themselves. So it will be the same day.
Christopher, your line is breaking up.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Telling us that.
Oh, Christopher, your line is breaking up. Call us back if you can. 99.3. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Fine, no. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
This is Joy calling.
Joy, welcome.
I want to talk about what the police is saying about they are hearing people want to protest that on May 29th. So I want to talk to the youth. They should not do anything. No, we don't want anybody to die now. We still need them. They should not protest. So they should stay at their home. We don't want to hear innocent people dying again in this country. So that is my advice to them about the honor. Me, I don't really care about those honor. I just want a president that loves this country, that will do the right thing, not the one that they will be transphoning the money of this country. So they don't know how many this thing we use. That is not good for this country. They sit in that place and be collecting what is not due for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. We've got Obi joining us from Ikeja. Obi, welcome.
Hey, my sister Sandra, I greet you. How are you?
I greet you too. How are you?
Long time no hear.
Yeah.
Congrats for your award.
Thank you.
Yeah. For the woman, the police, I want to ask Sandra, is police called? Even in court, pick the procedures of coming in and going out, not to talk of an organization like police. That's really unfortunate. And for the Asari Dokobo saying that this is how we continue to make mistakes in Africa. With his group, is he a military man? Is he why are they allowing such things coming with militants? So tomorrow other people will come with their own group of militants too. And when we start having problem in Nigeria, people will start complaining. Why must they allow such a thing to be happening? Because he is supporting this government now. That's really unfair. They should stop this in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling, Obi. All right, let's go to WhatsApp now and take a look at messages there. Sandra, my name is Michael Samwobo from Ogba. The police may presently not have a lot of goodwill among the populace, but the lady in question joined an organization which has its own conditions of service, which she voluntarily subscribed to. She's alleged to have gone AWOL for over 50 days, which itself is a serious offense that calls for an orderly room trial. Actually, what the police says is that she was AWOL for 21 days. Where has she been for 53 days? She has her opportunity to state her side of the story at the orderly room trial. Again, the police says she was away for 21, so I don't know where you're getting 50 days from. Number 2, coming to social media to rant is against the social media policy of the Nigeria police. We are also aware that various organizations, including private organizations, have social media policies which members of staff must abide with. Let us not sensationalize an issue that borders on the integrity of the nation's leading internal security organization. All right, Michael Samwobo with that message on WhatsApp. We've got this one here. Sister Sandra, are they para for the petroleum issue? I am a petrol station supervisor. The calculation is very simple. Before selling, you open your meter. After selling, you close your meter. Then you deduct the figures when you open the meter from the figures when you close the meter. The figures you get is the total liters that you have dispensed or sold for that period. Then you multiply the total liters by the amount you are selling per liter to get your total sales in cash. What is our government and Ministry of Petroleum saying? Thank God they are leaving soon. God will help us to know the way forward. Tony Tonero with that message there. See, I told you that I'm sure that there are people who listen to us who own petrol stations. All right, we've got this message here, and it says, President Sandra, my name is Tare from Lekki. Congrats on your award. My take on the Nigerian police is that they're just being difficult to that woman. And for the House of Reps saying they don't know the quantity of fuel used daily, yet they've been approving free money for subsidy, it's been a great fraud saga over the years, as it was done on purpose, so all the names you mentioned should be punished for stealing. For me, Sandra, a day will come when the king that knew Joseph will not come, and that day is not far from today. And for Tinubu's second person award, it's just like giving report card before exam. That is a president should not receive any honor before they begin their tenure. Because if that is the case, Buhari will not have gotten GCON, because the man, GCFR, that's what Buhari is. Okay. Because I didn't enjoy his administration. All right. Thank you very much for your message. We've got this one here from Sunday in Aja. Sunday says, inauguration will come and go. Only we know how to heat the polity. Only we know how to heat the polity in this part of the world. Okay. Sunday, thank you. We've got this one here from Toby from Ikotun. Toby says, my office sometimes managed a mini station. Before dispensing fuel every day, we do both meter reading and fiscal dipping, and this process is repeated at the close of day. We do the math to see whether we have shortages or excesses because report is submitted every day. The more you look, the less you see. Toby from Ikoton with that message there. All right, thank you very much for your message. We've got this one here from Abe. Abe says, it's funny how Nigeria is being run and priorities misplaced for decades. The office of the Imam in the NPF, this issue is nothing but family problem amongst them. I know they put mouth for waiting no concern me. All right. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, I'll take more messages from WhatsApp because we have so many messages there and we have been taking quite a number of calls. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You just listened to the big three. Coming up is still Eyewitness at 4 o'clock. And after that, let's talk about lupus, an illness you should hear about.
2023 has been tough so far. Sakba everywhere. But wait, do you know you can turn things around with only 100 naira? Yes, with only 100.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired get fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.